Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. It's time to let go of negative thinking, understand why you do what you do and stop the self-sabotage with your host, Fran Excel.
Welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel, your resident subconscious success mentor, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. If you want to stop self-sabotaging your own success and let go of the stress, then you are in the right place, my friend. Make sure you download your free Stressed to Success guided meditation at bit.ly/stress to success as my little gift to you just for being here. Please do subscribe, share and review. It really, really helps people that need to hear this message find us, and I so appreciate it. In the show notes, you'll also find details of how you can work with me and where you can get your mitts on my meditations, products, printables, programs. You can find it through the link in my bio on Instagram, which is my favourite place to hang out. So please do come join me over there at I'm Fran Excel. Tag me in your takeaways, slide into my DMs. I'm here for it. So that's the formalities over, my love. So let's jump to the content. Do you listen to your intuition? Do you even know what it sounds, or more accurately, feels like? I call my intuition my Spidey senses, and they're pretty strong, to be honest. Anyone that knows me will attest to that. And listening to them and obeying them, however, I do sometimes fall down on. Old patterns will sometimes cause that. We'll go into that in a little bit more depth. But I've definitely learned over the years that if I do ignore them or override them, there will be consequences. Your Spidey senses are very, very important, particularly when making decisions. But if you've got used to ignoring them or haven't listened to them in a while, you've got to start getting back in touch. Your Spidey senses, aka your intuition, is essentially your brain and your nervous system communicating with you. That lovely little gap between your conscious awareness and unconscious programs, memories, patterns. You see something, you sense something somatically before you have a cognitive knowledge of it. Helpful. It's a survival strategy that we've always had as a species, protecting us from the tiger casually waiting for us in the bushes. You know, think about it. If we didn't get that little tingle or whatever it shows up as for you, we'd put ourselves in danger. We wouldn't have our wits about us. We might potentially get eaten. Or in this day and age, we might go down that dark, ominous alley or into that room of people that we don't know, right? So it's absolutely one of my superpowers in my business, from my opinion. I can see a problem before it's a problem. I can see where a problem may have come from too. Like, it's, if something pops into my head, there's usually a reason. So I like to call it out. Clients and friends are very, very used to this now. People aren't surprised anymore if I say, my Spidey senses have told me to message you. What's going on? Or the Spidey senses say to say X, Y, and Z. Or I just say, to a client like, okay, my Spidey senses have popped this into my head, so I'm going to say it, but I have no attachment to it. Take it or leave it, but just in case it's helpful. And then 99% of the time, it's exactly what was needed in that moment. So I've learned to roll with it, even if it might feel a little bit silly sometimes. So I don't look at intuition or Spidey senses as anything woo at all. It's something that's been studied scientifically for years, although obviously quite difficult to quantify. We all have this in us. I mean, it is pretty cool. And it can feel pretty magical, for sure. But essentially, it's our body's way of communicating with us, steering us, if you like. It's an incredibly important skill to master, and it is a skill. Like I say, we all have it. We've had it for millennia as a protection mechanism. It's just that the danger has changed. And these days may not actually be life or death, but it might feel that way to our nervous system. And also, it's a way to steer us towards what's good for us too. Avoid that berry. This one's good, We often feel something before we think it. And those feelings will send us thoughts too. That's why it's super important that you understand that you are not your thoughts. It's that sense to do or not do something. You'll have a Spidey sense for a yes, this is the right thing to do, and a Spidey sense for a no. I personally use the sway a lot If you want to see that, have a quick Google on YouTube. Have a Google on YouTube. Go to YouTube and type in the sway, and something will come up for you. But it's a way of asking your body yes, no questions. But you'll also have a spidey sense about saying something or going somewhere or a particular decision that you have to make or a person or a group of people. But the challenge comes with getting to know each signal so you know what it's trying to say or the direction it's trying to steer you. Because obviously we have positive and negative experiences in our lives, and sometimes, occasionally, it can steer us wrong. But this is why we pay attention to the senses. What is your gut telling you? Is there a slight feel of unease telling you to keep your guard up a little bit? Is there a deep sense of unease telling you to run for the hills? Is there a deep knowing that this thing is just the right thing for you? Can you get in touch with it and around what to launch in your business, what you want to create, what you want to keep and what you want to let go of, and the people that you let in or let go of? What are your spidey senses trying to tell you? Is there a familiar feeling that you can pinpoint in another part of your life from the past? This could be good or bad, that it might be indicating is similar. We just need to tune back in. So I wanted to frame this with an example. When Dawny and Abby approached me to go in with them on the mentorship, which I'll talk a little bit about in a moment, it was my intuition that said a hard yes. There were lots of reasons not to. At the time, I didn't really know either of them very well. It was also something they'd been talking about for a long time. It was also a 3 of women. I had not had good experiences with that situation in the past at all, particularly in school. I could have not trusted them. I could have said, a 3? Nope, not going there again. And robbed myself of the healing that has occurred from just saying yes. And we were talking about this the other day. I just had a good feeling. I felt in my gut. My heart said yes. My intuition said yes. It was the best thing that I could have done for myself. They share my values. They share the way I look at business. They share my deep desire to help people and not let them get in their way. It's no joke when I tell you how much it's changed old patterns for me around female friendships, around allowing myself to trust and open up in that way. It really has been transformative, and I'm so excited for the work that we're going to do together and the way that we're going to work together to give the amazing people joining the mentorship a transformation, to help them heal old patterns and belief systems. We all deeply believe in people's capabilities, and I owe it to them being in touch with their intuition and spidey senses around bringing me in. And I owe it to my spidey senses for just knowing that it was right. It was the right thing for me. And the more you hone this skill, the more it will point you in the right direction. Remember, we're 95 to 99% unconscious, and the brain loves you to repeat familiar patterns and is always seeking the evidence. And you've got to provide it the evidence to the contrary, but you have to feel like you're doing that in a safe space. So where might you be falling into a pattern that doesn't serve you so well? Where might your spidey senses be trying to steer you towards something that is right for you? Also, remember, there's a reason it's called a gut feeling. The clues of what to pay attention to come through in our language. The gut, the heart, the brain, they're all connected. The brain, the heart, the gut, they all have their own neurons and neural networks. So here's another example. What does your heart tell you? What does your gut tell you? And I've just got a good feeling about this. If you've ever said any of those things, you've connected to your intuition. Nothing woo about it. It's there all the time, communicating with us. We just learn to stop listening. We learn to suppress emotions. We learn to do as we're told. So you got to get back in touch with that. So start to tune in, check in with what you feel in your body at certain times of the day, or when you're doing certain tasks, or around certain people. You might want to do it in meditation. You might want to do a body scan, but just ask yourself the question, what am I feeling right now? Where am I feeling it? What might be driving it? What might it be directing me towards? Just get curious. Make the unconscious conscious so you can choose to do something with it. It's such an essential skill when you can learn to trust it. It's visceral. You feel it. a lot of us have just been shut down to that feeling for a really long time. You know, if you read the autobiographies of some of the most successful people in the world, they'll talk about having hunches or use language like, I just knew, even in the face of evidence to the contrary. Yeah? Your intuition usually has far more data points than your conscious self, on something in that moment. It gets to scan all the reserves of your memory banks, past experiences, familiar patterns, etc., etc. It's working with a lot more than simply what's right in front of you at that moment. So have a think about where you might have been ignoring your spidey senses and how you might start to get back in touch with them. And as I said, I did say I would mention it. If you have been considering the mentorship, now is the time. We start orientation on the 22nd of November. It's 6 months of real business mentorship with me, the beautiful Dawny Baxter, and Abby Hugo, and all the experience that brings. Dawny being the legend of branding, social media, audience attraction, and so much more, ethical sales. Abby of the White Thistle on Instagram, the legend of Instagram growth and monetizing your account, even if it's small. And moi, to tame the inevitable mindset gremlins that get in your way, helping you overcome stress and self-sabotage so you can get your time back and feel more in control. We bring a wealth of experience in relationship-based selling, podcasting, messaging, so much more. And making sure, this is the important bit, that your business is set up based on what you want for your life, with you at the heart of it, taking away the shoulds and the things that you've been told you're supposed to have or supposed to want, and tuning back into what you actually want. Yeah, but the all-important safety as well, that transformation, that healing in relationship, right? All as a Brucey bonus. And if it's calling you, then we would absolutely love to have you. You can find all the details at bit.ly/thementorship21. So go check that out and check in with yourself, your gut. So if you got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and start changing things for yourself, then book in a free discovery call so we can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. If you want my eyes and ears on your problems, then I work with people one-on-one and through my programs. You can find all the details to book in a call in the show notes, the link in my bio on Instagram, and on my website, franexcel.com. So stop waiting for if and when and choose to change things now because you can. I'm here to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. And as always, I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you next week. Bye!